Shalom uvracha from Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh. This coming Shabbat, the Shabbat preceding Pesach, is referred to in our sources as Shabbat Hagadol, the Great Shabbat. Many reasons have been suggested for this outstanding title, this outstanding identity of this particular Shabbat. And indeed, there are special customs for this coming Shabbat Hagadol. Amongst them is the custom that is followed in most communities, where we read a special haftarah, a special reading of the prophets in honor of Shabbat Hagadol. It is that haftarah that I will address today, the haftarah of Shabbat Hagadol, the study taken from the last chapter of the last prophet. The haftarah of Shabbat Hagadol is taken from the third chapter of the book of Malachi, and I deem it important to study together the concluding verses of this prophecy. Those following, I'm reading from Malachi chapter 3, verses 23 and 24. Hinei anochi sholeach lachem et Eliyah hanavi. Pesach is a time of redemption. Pesach is a time of the great Geula. And in parallel source, in the prophet, as we have often spoken in our Haftarah series, that we seek to find a section that parallels the holiday season or the particular Torah section of that week. Hinei anochi sholeach lachem et Eliyah hanavi. Behold, says God, I am sending you Elijah the prophet. Now Elijah, we haven't heard from Elijah for hundreds of years before Malachi. Maybe it means some form of resurrection of Elijah. Maybe it means that Eliyahu, because those studying the book of Kings know, Eliyahu left this world in a most unusual way. In any case, Malachi speaks about the day that God is sending Elijah the prophet. Lifnei bo yom Hashem hagadol v'hanora. Eliyahu will arrive before the great and awesome day of God. There will be a very great day, Yom HaGadol, and before that day, Eliyahu Hanavi will be appearing. Interestingly enough, incidentally, perhaps it's worthwhile to mention that there are sources that claim, the Maharshal and others, that maybe the name Shabbat Hagadol is connected to the prophetic reading of Yom Hagadol. Eliyahu Hanavi is coming on that great day. In any case, the prophet speaks of the appearance of Eliyahu Hanavi, and his function is Veheshiv. I'm continuing in sentence 24. Veheshiv leiv avot al banim, v'leiv banim al avotam. Rashi learns that al means through. God will bring everyone back closer to an awareness of the divine, closer to the awareness of truth, closer to the awareness of spiritual reality. Veheshiv leiv avot al banim, says Rashi, the parents will come back. God will return the parents through the children. V'leiv banim al avotam, and many of the children will come back through their parents. Two different modes here of repentance, two different modes of teshuvah. The parents will come back to God through children, and children will come back through their parents. It means that there will we know families. We've been living in Yerushalayim, Baruch Hashem, for a long time. We've seen so many parents who have come ever so closer to Torah observance, to Torah sensitivity through their children. We've seen so many children come back to Torah observance through their parents. Perhaps a fulfillment of a Heshiv leiv avot al banim, v'leiv banim al avotam. Others suggest, some commentaries write, that the word al does not mean through, it could mean with. And this could be a reference to the fact that parents and children, everyone, the children and the parents and the children, everyone, there's a great level of connection, of teshuvah, as we come back to Eretz Yisrael, as we come back to Yerushalayim, as we get closer and closer to that great day of Hashem, Hagadol, Eliyahu Hanavi will help everyone do teshuvah. However, I would like to suggest another reading, and perhaps this is the reading that's closest to my heart in terms of reading this. According to another study of Veheshiv Lev Avot Al Banim, the text is suggesting that there will be a day. This is a pronounced prophecy of a future family unity that will be experienced on that great day of Eliyahu Hanavi, preparing for the great day of Hashem. Veheshiv Lev Avot Al Banim, parents and children will be together. The hearts of the parents will be together. Eliyahu Hanavi will restore the parents together with the children. The children will be together with their parents. No longer will parents be alienated from their children, and no longer will children be alienated from their parents. Perhaps this is the last prophecy, because maybe this is the most all-encompassing feeling when the families will be together. Ve'shiv lev avot al banim, v'leiv banim al avotam. Parents will lovingly embrace their children, and children will lovingly embrace their parents. According to this reading, the main function of Eliyahu Hanavi's role in the Messianic era, in the world of tikkun, rectification, will be to bring peace to the entire world, with special emphasis on bringing peace within the families. As the rabbis teach in the concluding Mishnah of Masechet Eduyot, the function of Eliyahu is la'asot shalom ba'olam, to bring peace to the world. And they quote our text. They quote the text from our Haftarah from Malachi. Shene'emar, hinei Elochi sholech lachem, ve'yeshiv lev avot al banim v'leiv banim al avotam. I was thinking that perhaps these particular verses are read on the Shabbat before Pesach. For historically, maybe we were enslaved in Egypt precisely because of internal struggles, internal conflicts within the family. Everyone remembers the stories in the book of Genesis of how there were problems with Joseph and his brothers, and the brothers with Joseph. Remember the difficulties of where even Jacob gets angry. Vayigar bo aviv. Jacob is angry at Joseph. Joseph is bringing negative reports to his father. Maybe the family was falling apart. According to certain sources, the reason why we were all slaves is because the brothers sold Yosef as a slave. Maybe we read the words of rectification. Maybe that's the reason why right before Pesach we have to emphasize the unity of parents and children, the children of parents, because that's the time when the families have to be together. Maybe Eliyahu Hanavi is telling us that that's the way we can get out of Egypt. You know, in the Torah, when it speaks, it's the reading of the Torah on the holiday of Pesach, Moshe says to the people, get together with your families. Mishchu k'chu lachem tzon lemishpachotechem. Get everybody together, all the families together. And perhaps we read these words from Malachi just a few days before the Seder. For if one wants to get a taste of a united world of parents and children, I think we have to study together the Seder dynamic. What closeness. I don't think there's another night of the year where as many parents are together with their children, where as many children are together with their parents. So we read this, and then, okay, if you want to say, well, that's far off, or who knows when Eliyahu Hanavi is coming, we'll just go to the Seder. What closeness, what love, what interaction, what mutual study, what mutual respect, questions and answers. Parents together with children, children together with parents, grandparents, grandchildren, brothers, sisters, cousins, relatives, all lovingly together at the Seder. Maybe there is an Eliyahu mode at the Seder. You know, we symbolically mention Eliyahu. Different points in the Seder. We have the cup, the kos shel Eliyahu, a fifth cup, entitled the Cup of Eliyahu. We open the door and are prepared for the great arrival of Eliyahu someday, hopefully immediately, with Mashiach. And in Hasidic works, there's even a discussion of Eliyahu arriving at the Seder. The living glimpse of the world that will be. The living glimpse of this prophecy of Eliyahu bringing parents and children and children and parents together, is to be experienced immediately after the Haftarah reading. For indeed, Pesach, in so many millions of Jewish homes, where the barriers of divisiveness are broken, and the spirit of Malachi's prophecy, the hearts of the children are together with the parents, and the hearts of the children of the parents are together with the children. And somehow we are feeling, we are living, we are actualizing that prophecy. May each of you have the most beautiful and all-encompassing, sweet Seder experience. And may that practice run. It's a practice run of Veheshiv Levavot al Banim, V'lev Banim al Avotam. The practice run of family togetherness, of family unity, bring us to the ultimate level of the day of redemption. And may the Shabbat HaGadol usher in the Yom HaGadol, allowing us together happily and healthfully to celebrate the great day with all the brothers and sisters and with the entire world. Chag Sameach to each of you. Shalom from Yerushalayim. Just a technical note, I've been announcing this for the last week due to technical reasons. This will be the last of the series of Haftarah on Machlis Presents. I explained why in our previous weeks. It was a technical issue of financial stress to our directors. However, we are hoping to continue under a different name beginning next week. It's not yet established. It will not be as professional as the great directors of Machlis Presents, but hopefully the messages will be similar, and we lovingly are connecting to everyone. Looking forward to celebrating together in Yerushalayim. Chag Sameach. Shalom.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.